Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. I wanted to do the traditional witch tag, or the trad witch tag, by the Polish folk witch. I originally saw this on Mary Grace's channel, and I wanted to answer some of the questions for myself. I'll read the questions, and I wrote some notes in my book of organized chaos. So the first question, what kind of craft do you practice? For example, folk magic, traditional witchcraft, Wicca, modern witchcraft, ceremonial magic, eclectic, occultism, etc. I have an eclectic practice, and it links to memories, places, cultures. I'm a daughter of the Morgan. Plants, scenery, artistry, ways of living, animals, and the Irish spirit connect to me, and I'm a little Irish. I do have memories and visions of the Fae, and there are memories of me living in the Northeast, growing up with my Irish friends. It was always a warm welcome when I would visit them and their family, and I didn't see my parents much, so I felt like I was part of their family. I connect to other cultures. I work with Scotty and the White Buffalo Calf Woman. The second question is, what paradigm, faith, or philosophy informs your craft? And I take a psychological approach. I like disciplining and stabilizing the mind, and to not be afraid to let your mindset change or develop. There's also the aspect of optimizing your practice and life and doing something until it's done right. The third question, what cultures are your practice rooted in? So the Celtic with the Fae, plant and spell work, and protection of the dark. Native American with my animal totems and balancing the light that's in me, and to cleanse and provide physical protection. Norse for mentality, strategic and tactical movement. Slavic for symbolic knitting. The fourth question, how long have you been practicing and how did it all start? I've been physically practicing for about 7 years. It started when I was living in New England. I went to an indoor witchy flea market, and I bought a bottle necklace that had rosemary in it, and it came with a paper that had the metaphysical properties of rosemary. So the interest in herbalism began. I got my degree in botanical science or herbal studies and certifications in herbalism. And aside from compounding and other pharmacy tech duties, I answer questions patients may have on herbal supplements and help the pharmacist out too. I also wanted to mention my first encounter with the Fae. When I was little, I would go into the woods and laugh and walk on the logs with the Fae, and then I had a more direct connection with the Fae in New England. And in 2010, I was given a tarot deck from a high school friend. So Herbs and tarot really captivated me. The fifth question, what books or resources have you first started with? Would you recommend them to others today? So the books I'm listing, Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs by Scott Cunningham, The Celtic Lore and Spellcraft of the Dark Goddess, Invoking the Morgan by Stephanie Woodfield, Animal Speak by Ted Andrews. I would recommend these books. I have some stuff in storage. We don't have a big place right now, so I don't have the books to show you, but those are the ones that came to mind, and they're definitive. I do recommend them. The sixth and seventh question kind of intertwine together. For me, how has your practice and or paradigm changed over the years, if at all? And I'll read the seventh question. What has your daily, regular practice looked like? What do you do on a regular basis? So it started with herbs and spell work. And then I read a lot of tarot over the years. I like to invest as much time as I can to become more skillful in what I'm interested in. I still read. I keep decks on my nightstand and do client readings. Now I focus on herbs and knitting. I constantly learn more about herbs as an interest and for work. And knitting is calming but exciting. I love color work and seeing how the symbols and patterns are created, and I love the colors that I choose to. The eighth question, are there aspects of your craft that you keep a secret? In your opinion, is secrecy important in witchcraft? Yes, it's important, and the first rule about Fight Club is that you don't talk about Fight Club. Number 9, what are some of your favorite tools that you use regularly? Decks, knitting needles, yarn, and things that remind me of Goddess. Number 10, what books or resources would you recommend to newbie witches interested in your kind of craft? I recommend the books that I mentioned in the fifth question. So, again, it's Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs by Scott Cunningham, Celtic Lore and Spellcraft of the Dark Goddess, Invoking the Morgan by Stephanie Woodfield, Animal Speak by Ted Andrews. To add to that, I recommend The Morgan, Celtic Goddess of Magic and Might by Courtney Weber. It's well written. The Herbal Tarot by Michael Tierra and Candace Cannon. I highly recommend this book. It's one of the best books I've read that link the herbs, attributes, and therapeutic uses to its metaphysical properties. And the Field Guide to the Little People, A Curious Journey into the Hidden Realm of Elves, Fairies, Hobgoblins, and Other Not-So-Mythical Creatures by Nancy Arrowsmith. And the last one is the Druidcraft Tarot Guidebook by Philip and Stephanie Cargo. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was an interesting video for you, and I'll see you in another video.